What is going on today? What, another one? Another one? Ladies and gentlemen, slimes and dimes, welcome back to the channel. If you know, you know. If you don't, hit the button below. Today's a good one, man. It's a good Sunday to just sit back, relax, and listen to a couple of things. Now, I seen Rory and Maul, and as y'all know, if y'all been keeping up with the channel, if y'all knew, I kind of got a little beef with Maul. Maul don't know me, but I know him. You know what I'm saying? I got beef with Maul's takes. You know what I'm saying? And like, it's nothing personal. It's just a part of just doing this whole content thing, and everybody got opinions, and you don't necessarily have to agree with them. But for me, I don't be agreeing with Maul's takes too much, man, especially when it's regarding rap battles and rap beef and Drake. But with that being said, I do like Rory. Wow, I do like Rory. I keep forgetting homegirl's name. I think it's Daenerys, but I called her Jakaris in the last video. It's no disrespect. I was just on the flow. I fucked up. Please fuck up, dog. But let's see what they got to say. Their topic on what hip-hop artists helped them grow. I'm curious to see what they have to say.
What artists did you grow with? Like, you saw their content change that you grew up with? The way that these young fans will grow with Sexy Red eventually.
Oh, wow.
Man, imagine that being
as far as rap,
right?
With.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yo,
have to
this
be
guy, man, I've been banging with him lately.
What artists
outside of Eminem
you,
shit.
Like, grew with them?
Trick Daddy is crazy.
Trick Daddy.
Thug Holiday to me is.
You want your nail
I'm assuming that you
run up in your mouth.
you
Put a
grew
gun
with
up in
Jay.
your mouth.
No,
Yeah,
Well, Jay was
Bro,
always
what
older
your
than
man
me,
You
did?
grew up with Jay. That's different.
but he's older than me. That's not. That's,
but your
that's a
music,
difference.
you grew as Jay's music grew. You haven't hit 444 yet.
Well, the thing about the thing about Jay that's different.
he's still at
is,
Blueprint 3.
The thing about Jay that's different is
technology.
Jay uses his music to talk about his lifestyle and his growth, and hopefully his audience attaches to that and they grow.
That's a
as
fair
well.
take. That's a fair
Which is why
assessment.
his 444 album, he was saying things on there that people was like, damn, like
They're not there in
one
life.
day you're gonna have to grow up. You're gonna have to do shit, move like
Yeah.
this. It's like that's what Jay does when he gives
Agreed.
you music now. He's speaking directly from his experience.
That's crazy. I actually agree with Maul for the first time in a long time while I'm watching Maul right now. But he's got a valid point, man. Like Jay, now if you can relate and have that lifestyle as Jay or aspire to have that similar lifestyle as Jay, I think that would help you grow as well. Because a lot of people, you know, goes back to that conversation of like specific rappers and certain rappers where like if the streets don't feel it, you're just not gonna listen. But Jay specifically, I know a lot of dudes, the streets feel Jay because Jay talks that shit. But once again, when it comes to that, I think people don't grow sometimes from that because they're just stuck in that. I think that's why Maul said, "What you still stuck in 03," but I think they're just playing around with each other, obviously, in that regard. But in the overall conversation, I think I feel like that's why people didn't like Jay's new stuff, because people don't like to grow. And that's another thing I feel like people don't like when they see artists just change up what they're talking about versus just like they want them to make music for them so they can consume as the fan.
the things that he's into, the things that he's learning. But not every artist has that ability. And that's I think what Jay's magic is. People look forward to learning about what's the new thing or what's like what are the like now niggas want to know, yo, Joe, why are you getting up every morning walking with these billionaires? What the fuck y'all just walking around your neighborhood doing? Like that's like a thing now.
They know what he doing. He's walking. He old. He need to move his
No.
around.
It's a walking
Them
club.
niggas ain't them niggas. If you think them niggas is just walking, you got life fucked
They're
up.
walking and having
Obviously,
discussions.
you
They're
don't have
talking.
Billionaires just walking in the morning and think that them niggas is just exercising.
Well,
You don't
They
obviously,
can do regular things too, though.
Fuck no.
obviously they're talking and having
Like
conversations.
they're talking about the next best move, but they're doing regular people
that's
shit
what
too.
Older people do.
Right.
Yes, he's walking with billionaires because those are the people who live in his neighborhood. So yeah, that's who he's walking
course.
with in his walking club.
Yeah,
and
but
they
we
have
talking about-
similar
but
interests and things
I'm just
to
talking
discuss.
I'm just talking about the growth, and he's like the person that you look to. Like, okay, when I'm 52, 53, that's what I have to look forward to doing. Like getting up and walking with my neighbors around the neighborhood.
Not
You gotta remember, this is a
necessarily.
dude from
You're
Brooklyn
talking
that
about-
sold crack in the projects. Like we've seen his story unfold to where he is now. In our culture, we've never seen nothing like that. Not from selling crack in the projects.
Didn't I just say this point like 3 minutes ago, dog? Like people just don't grow from that part. So when they see Jay on that side of things, like they don't want to grow with it because it just doesn't cater to them. I just said that. That's funny, and he just brought it up, and it's like, bro, like Jay, we don't even really know if Jay really did do that either. Too, I'm just
that.
saying.
We've never seen that before.
Rappers back then rapped about what they
difference
homies
is Jay
did.
is the one that people look at and say, that's a cool way to grow old. Like if you can, because we all want to grow old. Growing old is the coolest shit in the world. Nobody wants to fucking die young. That's a waste of life, waste of talent. Growing old, but still being cool is the goal. At least to myself. Let me speak for myself. I don't know about others.
I can get with that
more.
Old,
but I also want to still.
I want to still be youthful and stuff. Yeah.
Sandals with linen shorts at the cookout. I don't want to be doing that.
I've seen Jay.
I'll dress my age though.
Sandals and linen shorts.
Right, that's what I'm saying. What are you talking
New
about?
York with Chocolates.
Chocolates, dog.
On the beach.
You 46 years old
on the
with
beach?
jeans on and chocolates. Back to business.
With Tim's on the beach.
You ain't the only one styling. Boo styled
I
them,
never
whatever.
understood that thing. I'm like, yo, he's on a beach. He's insane.
He's with his wife.
He's insane.
What you wear to the beach?
What you want to
Sneakers?
Always older than you. I guess I've really meant someone that was closer to your age. Like, I can say Kendrick and Cole, I've grown with. Like, I was 20 when they came out, 19 when they came out, and like I've hit the same life pillars.
I'm about to say, ain't the topic what artists helped you grow? Y'all ain't get there yet.
In the music, I can hear it too.
Yeah.
From some of the more the party shit to more of the
Introspective.
understanding yourself and realizing what have I been doing for
I
the
mean,
last
I don't think Drake's done that.
type of thing.
Drake's still trying to be
You have
young.
artists like that. I felt that way about Drake for a long time. I think his content shifted a bit, and he's actually regressed.
Holla at your boy, dog, please.
Do you have that with your age group of an artist that you really sat with?
It's
that's why-
always a little older.
That's why I like to pause a little bit, because I like to just kind of say things before they get to it, because like I'm just trying to let y'all know, like, I ain't got the platform. I'm just little old Beto just chilling on the couch, just just talking to whoever. But I'm right here. I'm right here with them. I see things. I've said this in other shit.
But I think that's dope too, because for me personally, I always hung out with people that were a little older than me.
I'm with Maul on this.
Like, I
Damn,
never
I'm
really
agreeing with
hung
Maul
out
today?
with too many people that were my age or
Interesting.
too many people that was that much younger than me. It was always a lot of older. I was always around a lot of older.
You gotta have like 3, 4, 5, 6 years older than me. Facts.
Yeah.
But I had, obviously my friends that were, closer to my age, but I always made sure I kept some older people around me. I always
need that
had
wisdom.
conversations with older people.
Facts.
Because again, they saw what we haven't seen. They've experienced
Experience
these
and wisdom.
things. They know what's happening. They know exactly where I'm at right now, what I'm going through, the thoughts I'm having, the emotions, the battles mentally. But they also can tell you, okay, yeah, I had that. This is how you maneuver around that. This is how you get over that. Find the thing that you're passionate about. Don't worry about what other people think. Don't worry about what other people got going on. Focus on.
Facts.
You need those conversations. And I think for me, Jay is probably
The person
only
you had to grow with, yeah.
rapper that I remember listening to when I was very young in high school that I probably still listen to now and really pay attention to exactly what he's saying, because again, we're watching it unfold. We're watching him reach these heights and these pinnacles in personal life and business, musically, getting all these accolades. It's like we saw it throughout the 25 years.
This is crazy. This is the
30
first time
years.
I'm agreeing with Maul
So,
throughout
I
a
mean,
whole little segment.
For
This
me,
is
that's
nuts.
the only one that I look at. And
Have we turned a leaf,
pay
Maul?
attention to. Other rappers I listen to, but I'm not looking for those things.
I feel blessed for my age, because your generation, unfortunately, it wasn't like super cool to talk about your feelings.
Yeah.
I kind of love that I got the generation, i.e. Cole, Kendrick, that
Where
was
it's like, fine.
being
Damn, you're that-
vulnerable
and that-
in your
you're in
music,
that?
and that being okay. And then all my favorite rappers that were older, i.e. Nas and Jay, when I started to get older, they finally were like, you know what?
I'm
gonna
talking about my
talk
feelings too.
Every shitty thing I've done in my family's life.
At the Basquiat show.
Like, I think it's cool.
I'm curious now to know, because I didn't know that there was like a age difference between Rory and Maul like that. I'm gonna have to Google it, but if you're watching, let me know in the comments below how old Maul is and how old Rory is, because I always thought they was like the same age, but now hearing him talk about this clearly
I
a
got the
generational
perfect
gap.
time to go
Maybe by
from
like
my
3-4
20s to
years,
my
but
30s.
damn.
Because the rappers my age were talking about the shit that I was going through, and then the guys that were 10 years older that I loved as a kid are now like, all right, here's Life is Good. Here's 444. Like, that shit became really cool
Facts.
to do when I was going from 29 to 30. Like, I think being born in 1990 to me has been the coolest
He's a
thing. when it
90s
comes to
kid.
music.
The way in
I'm
which
so
Damn,
happy
I'm older
that I
than
was
Roy?
in this generation.
God damn.
us, like when we were kids,
Wow.
like our age group.
I'm not mad,
That's
but
how
wow.
I felt with the way those movies would carry through my life. That's how I felt closely with, more so like directly to my age. It was like a year or two older than I was. Mac Miller was like, it could not have lined up better in terms of when best day ever, kids, best day ever, like watching movies. Good AM, like all of those were dropping at such
Damn, how old is this guy
specific
then?
parts of my life, and I feel like he was obviously living a very different lifestyle, but the experiences were mirroring each other throughout that whole journey. And obviously, where it ended, I think he was heading in that 444 era at 26. He was already in that like introspective, therapeutic phase in his career and his journey. And that music was so much deeper if you listen back to what Kids was. I mean, it's like light years different.
Kids movie was
and
crazy
if you really
too.
Look at it down in such
I
a
forget
short amount
that
of
Kids
time.
isn't even what he's talking about.
Yeah, because Kids was what, 2009?
Kids was 08 or 09.
I'm thinking the movie
and at
Kids.
that point too, I didn't have much life experience. I just love Lord Finesse samples.
Kids,
So like
2010.
Mac is actually a great example. Even though I don't have the same connection Julian does with Mac, but I can appreciate this same thing. When I was 18, I just liked Lord Finesse shit.
Yeah.
And here was a kid rapping on that, and then you saw his career. Once you get to the Divine Feminine, I was 26. Like life was starting to change a bit. So
Yeah.
that is a good point. Mac is someone that mirrored me being 34 in the exact trajectory of where I would have taken
'Cause
things with music too. I'm
Kids
gonna
is
rap
about
over
him.
old shit I love, and then all right, now it's life experience.
Kids is about him literally graduating high school. Like there's a line and he was like, oh yeah, like I graduated high school. Like I graduated like that summer. It could not have been like a more direct mirroring of what was going on in my life.
I never had that with an artist growing up. I always listened to artists who were way older than me, and I couldn't really
Facts.
relate to the things that they were going through. I go back now and re-listen, and shit is amazing. Like I go back now to Janet and listen to some of the things that I was listening to and bopping
Like
to
7
when I was
years old, and you're like,
7
oh, shit.
8 years old. My
Yeah.
favorite song when I was
Yeah.
10, and I'm like, I'm going
Right now.
It feels like completely. It's like I'm hearing the song again.
Go
for the
ahead,
first
Daenerys.
time.
I fuck with
Emotionally,
Daenerys,
growth
dog.
as far as the past 10 years, emotionally, I would say Kehlani's music probably. I saw us grow a lot emotionally together. From You Should Be Here to Blue Water Road. We don't really count Crash, but You Should Be Here to Blue Water Road. Like that emotional growth, even with the spirituality thing and
Yeah, Kehlani, I could definitely see being one of those.
Yeah.
Because she was like, what, 17 when You Should Be Here came out? 18?
yeah, somewhere around there.
She was super young and super introspective at that time, but from a teenager's point of view.
Yeah.
Yeah, her music has definitely been
No, she had to be older. She
a
probably was 20.
roadmap of your 20s. I feel that way about Blonde as well. I think Blonde is the perfect album for somebody from 20 to 29. I think it really defines what your 20s are. I think SZA did a great job with Control that way.
Yeah.
SZA's one of those artists where it's like, if you're her age when that was happening, you connected to it on a whole different level because you were going through those exact same things.
Adele as well.
Yeah.
Because Adele names all her albums after her ages.
That's
And
But I mean,
Didn't even
but
know
she
that.
was a little bit
Adele-
more mature.
I don't really
I
follow
would say
Adele,
Adele
though.
was so much more mature at 21 than I ever was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for
like,
Like
sure.
I appreciate 21 more now that I'm 34
Yeah.
than what I would have when I was fucking 21.
To Maul's
Yeah, Adele was
point-
way ahead of her time.
to Maul's
way
point-
way more mature.
of saying like there wasn't an artist his age, it was always someone a little older. When Kanye first came out, because the theme of his thing was like school, even though he was significantly
College
older
Dropout or
than
whatever?
I was at the time, I still could see like the trio of those albums from graduation to late registration from college dropout to late registration to graduation. Like I could see
That's a growth like concept right
what
there too.
my life would look like
Interesting.
in the lens of like the schooling and the skits and all those things. So that was always someone that, and that carried through. Talk about experimenting. Obviously we know what he did with the albums that followed that, but I mean that eventually all went away, unfortunately. But
The one artist that I'm surprised his life, his like obviously new lifestyle and where he is now didn't translate into his music as great as I thought it would, because his story of what he's doing now in life is amazing. Is Jesus.
Oh yeah, word.
I don't
Facts.
think like he
Wow.
tried it, like
I'm
couple
banging with Maul today.
songs we got. I don't sell birds no more, sell houses and shit like that. Like
Wow.
fly shit. We knew Jeezy as a snowman, and now he has a
Yo, that's
big
crazy. I didn't even
real estate
think about
company
Jeezy,
in
man.
Georgia.
He hit the nail on the head with that.
To me,
Word.
personally, that's fly. For him to make that transition, be a great businessman, father now, things like that. To see him in that space in his life is amazing. But it didn't translate into the music as
I feel
much
like
as
he
I
stopped
thought
the
it
music
would.
too,
Yeah.
and then he went back and kept
You
that
know what I
same
mean? And
same
again,
cadence when it
that's-
came to
but
it.
he
though.
was one of those ones when he dropped, everything he was saying, and the pictures he was painting, the things he was giving us, it resonated with. Like I said, he's from Atlanta, but everybody
know about the dope game.
In New York that I knew that was in that lifestyle
rocked with it.
Was like, yo, this is some of the most authentic shit we've ever heard when it comes to this type of lifestyle. But I love where he's at personally now. Like just seeing Jeezy now, it's just like his growth as a person, and just changing his look. He wearing suits a lot and things like that, and really doing real legit business and prospering in that field is amazing. But it didn't translate into the music as I thought.
I wish Nicki went that way too.
Generation thing that we were talking about, like Jeezy's from that generation where he was doing that in his actual life,
but he's not gonna rap about feelings.
Probably in his brain was like, nobody wants to hear that shit on music. Like they just want to hear
Dope Boy.
TM 101.
That's why I did
I'm gonna just
TM 103.
Yesteryear raps of I don't do that anymore, but this is what I used to do, type shit. But I think on the DJ Drama Jeezy tape that came out at the end of last year,
I didn't know about that. It's crazy.
That was last year.
I remember that.
I think it was definitely more on the mature side of talking about current things. I just think it takes people from your generation a little longer to get into
they're not from that
vulnerability bag.
They grow up like that.
Even if they're doing it in their own personal lives, they just think nobody wants to hear that shit.
I banged with that little segment that they had, man. This is we're turning new leaves here as we approach the fall season and summer's coming to a close. It looks like Maul got me agreeing with him. I can't disagree with him at all on his points too much when it comes to just the growth. But for me personally, and this is the fun part of the segment, because I want to know what artist helps you guys grow and like who resonated with you guys the most. But for me though, and if you guys haven't been keeping up, like I bought or I stole my an Onyx tape. I gotta go age myself. An Onyx cassette tape from my cousin, which had Slam on it. So like that was like my introduction to hip hop, and it just helped me as a child just like understand what music was and just enjoying music. And then as I got older, like that's when I got into like buying them myself, but I wasn't even old enough to buy them yet. But I bought the DMX album and Master P, The Last Dawn. So it was Dark in the Hell is Hot and Last Dawn. And then what the artists that really helped me grow personally and just kind of resonated with me would be, I'll name three, would be X, Eminem, and LL Cool J. Very wide spectrum for sure, but I feel like they all played a significant role in different segments of my life. Like mainly, like whenever I was in a down place or just not feeling good about myself, X somehow just gave me that spirit and just helped me lift myself up off the ground and just made me feel just confident about myself. He brought something different to me. He brought that dog in me, so to say. Like DMX was that energy guy, and Eminem was more relatable on just a level where like he had issues with his moms, like he was getting bullied in school, like he was having a lot of issues just as a kid. And like for me being a kid in real time, that helped me grow, and like obviously listen to his music is what helped me be a fan as I've gotten older. I wasn't white, what I'm saying, obviously, but I can still feel what he was talking about because I was going through certain things in my life personally throughout a long period of time, which helped me go to his music and help me just kind of just learn how to combat it and just grow from it and just not just be down in the hole from it. Like Eminem helped myself, and I'm sure a lot of people, and I think that's why a lot of people are fans of him. Like the people from the outside are not going to understand that because they're not listening to the deep cuts. And I've had conversations with people like they only have the mainstream songs to go off of, and once you hear that, because that's usually how you get your stuff off, and if you're not feeling it, you're not going to want to go dig into something else because you already got a mental bias on like this song sucks, so you're just not going to dig into it. And that's kind of been the stigma on Eminem the whole time. So it'll probably be funny when people hear this being like, Eminem helped you grow. Well, he helped me, dog. So like it is what it is, and this is why I bang with Eminem. And then LL Cool J, like he helped me just be confident with the ladies, man. Like that was the ladies rapper right there, man. Like Hey Lover, Doing It, like all those songs, bro. Like I listened to LL when it came for me trying to be on my let me be a player, let me talk to the ladies and just be smooth with my game. Like LL taught me a lot of game when it came to the women. So I definitely would say those guys specifically helped me grow. Like when these top 10 lists always come out and everything, and like that top 10 seems to change every time, but I stay pretty consistent with like my top 10. Like who's always in there is always gonna be X, it's always gonna be L, M's always gonna be number one. I don't care what nobody say, M will always be one. Like let's put this on the channel right now, M will always be number one. But like those three guys I always put in there, and I throw Cube in my top 10 too, but they didn't. Well, I'll put Cube as also another person that, like, you know, influenced me and changed my life a little bit too, because he just kind of gave me just that energy of just having that charisma and just loving the West Coast and stuff. So like when I do visit Cali and stuff, I just feel right at home. But I wouldn't say it changed my life, but I think he's had an influence on just how I am as a person and how I've grown as a person just throughout, you know, the early 2000s and everything too. So those are my artists right there, man. X, M, L, and Cube are the people that kind of helped me just grow as a person and everything. But let me know in the comments below what artists or artists, multiple, I guess, had helped you grow, helped you get through certain things in life or whatever. Because music, once again, it has to resonate in order for it to kind of just hit and just make you respect the artist. So comment down below what artist did that for you in rap, and let me know if y'all agree with what Rory and Maul were saying during their segment here. I'll be back with another one. I can't believe I agree with Maul, but I don't know if I'll be doing that too often. But I'll be back with another one. I'm out of here. We got more easy, got more fun, we got more.